If I told you right now to think of the best headphones on the market, what would you think of? Beats, maybe some Bose. You might even think of a gaming headset as one of the best. But personally, I have just discovered a new favorite of mine, and that is the Sony WH-1000XM4s. Now, for those who are confused by that naming scheme, let me break it down to you the way that I remember it. I don't know if it's the right way, but this works for me. W is for wireless, H is for headset, 1000X is the model name or something, and then Mark IV is M4. So the wireless headset 1000X Mark IV. They've been out for some time now, and they're probably going on sale right around this time for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and Christmas season. So now's probably the best chance to get one on sale because normally they're a little bit too expensive, but right around this time I think the sale prices are perfect to get them right now. So why are they now my favorite? Well, let me get into that right away. I'm going to skip over the whole unboxing because all it is basically a sleeve with a box that tells you to download the app and how to pair it. This, and then a few quick start guides and some other flyers. So this is really where all the action is. This is the only important part to me, so I'm just going to skip over that part and then show off what's in here. This is what's inside. We see this is just a normal like headphone cable, airplane splitter. I've never even seen an airplane that uses this, so it's always weird to see companies still providing them. It comes with the world's shortest USB cable, so it's USB-C to USB-A. At this length, I would almost suggest Sony just not give one at all because it's almost like a slap in the face. Why would you ever need a cable this small? Like I can't even plug it into the back of my computer here and have it fall down to the desk. So this is kind of useless to me. Thankfully, I have a lot of extra cables that I'll be able to use normally with these headphones, but maybe if you have like a little battery pack, then this might come in handy because it's a shorter cable. I don't know. And then finally we have the pièce de résistance, the Sony WH-1000XM4s right here. So these are the successor of the Sony WH-1000XM3s, which were known to be the best wireless noise cancelling headphones out there. So personally, I think Sony took it one step further and improved basically on all the small issues that the 3s had, and they came out with the 4s. So the build quality is good. It's pretty much mostly this matte black plastic construction overall, but it doesn't really feel too cheap. It feels light in the hands, which makes it easier to wear over long periods of time. The top is completely this faux black leather, really plush, and it helps with long hours of wear as well because you get that extra padding on top, even though these are great for clamping down on the sides instead of putting all the weight on top. The ear cups are also extremely plush. You can see that just by pressing down gently how easy they compress. Inside there's also a bit of compression foam. The design is pretty much the same as before, full black or the gray that you can get with some metallic accents with the Sony and the little vent on the side here. The cups fold up like this if you want to pack them up. The cups also twist about maybe 30 degrees one way and then a full 90 degrees the other way, so if you want to have them lay flat, then you can. The cups also rotate up and down to help fit any size of head. And speaking of that, I have a pretty big head, and wearing a hat makes my head feel even bigger when I'm wearing headphones. But these headphones fit quite well despite the over-large head that they're being put on. Like this. So right away, I might be talking really loud right now because even without the noise cancelling on, they're really great at isolating the sound. So all the room noise that I have right now is already pretty much canceled out, and the headphones aren't even on right now, so this is just with the foam cups that are making it so much quieter. So in 2020, COVID-19 really forced us to learn how to isolate, and if you're really all about isolation, then these will really improve that feeling. When you put these on and you throw the noise canceling on, even without music on, it feels like there's nothing going on around you, whether that's noise on the bus, noise on a train, walking through a construction site. I've done all of that and had no noise come through the headphones. The third generation of these headphones really did it well with their noise cancellation, and Sony just took it one small step forward to improve on what was already a good thing. So thankfully they didn't go back and rewrite the whole noise cancellation of these headphones. They just added some tweaks to make it just a little bit better. One way they did this is by adding a few new microphones. On each cup there's 5 microphones, one on the bottom, one on each side, and then 2 behind this yoke, if you want to call it that. So I think it has 10 microphones in total, which really helps pick up all the sound around you and lets the algorithm know what to cancel out. It also has a new feature called Speak to Chat. So with the third generation, if someone was to come up to talk to you, you would have to take your hand and cover up the right ear cup, and then that would tell the ambient feature to turn on so that you could hear the ambient noise around you. But I think everyone kind of agreed that that looked a little bit dorky, so Sony introduced this new feature called Speak to Chat, which basically lets the headphones detect your own voice so that when you speak, it'll know to pause your music and turn off the noise canceling. This isn't perfect because sometimes you might have to go back into the app to turn the noise canceling on because it already turned it off. But there is a setting where you can have it turn on after a certain amount of seconds. I haven't used this feature yet, but I'm sure one day I'll have to and see how that works. While we're on the topic of chatting, the microphone on this isn't the best, but most wireless headphones that I've used don't really have the best mic quality in general, so I'm not really too worried about that to begin with. So this is how the mic sounds. Personally, I'm not a big fan of it because there's not too much dynamics in the voice, but I think my voice sounds recognizable and you can hear everything that I'm saying, so I think as long as you can understand what I'm saying, then it's not too much of an issue. Now some headphones, even though they can expand to be quite wide to fit large heads, that sometimes comes with the price of them clamping down really hard on your head, and that's especially annoying for those of us who wear glasses. Thankfully, this doesn't clamp down in a painful way. From what I read, Sony redesigned the ear cups so that they go completely around your ears. That way the headphones can clamp down directly onto your skull instead of putting any pressure on your ears. And because of this, you don't really have too much pressure pushing your ears against your glasses frames, so it's a win-win for those of us who wear glasses, and it's just a win for those who don't. For those people who like to wear their headphones around their neck when they're not listening to anything, you may have to open up the arms just a little bit extra just to get them to fit comfortably. No matter how I wear them, it still feels like they're pushing directly into my neck, so it doesn't really feel comfortable. But I think if I was just going to a store and had to talk to someone really quickly, this wouldn't be the biggest of deal, but I think I'd probably just end up putting them on my head like this so I could hear them and keep them out of the way. And because of the strong clamp force that they have, then I don't really have to worry about them falling off like this either. But with all that being said, I think the biggest thing that draws people to these headphones is the noise canceling features. So right here I have a tiny little lav mic that I'm going to put inside of my ear, so you'll be able to hear everything that I'm hearing with and without the noise canceling, the way that it sounds to wear these headphones. So this is the room noise. This is just what I'm hearing right now with nothing playing. You're just hearing the straight room noise. This is what the room noise sounds like with the headphones on, but with noise canceling off. So this is just the noise isolation of the cups themselves. And then this is what it sounds like when I turn noise canceling on. So now that you've heard the room tone, this is me typing while noise canceling is on. And then this is me typing with noise canceling off. This is me playing a airplane noise from my computer, so this is just what I'm hearing without the headphones on. This is what I hear with the headphones on but without noise cancelling on. And then this is what I hear with noise cancelling on. So as you can see, it does pretty well with the constant sounds and even some non-constant sounds like clicking. But some cases it might not do as well as you were hoping. Like if someone was talking right beside you, I don't think it would be able to take out too much of that noise, but I think it would still be able to take out some of that noise just to kind of reduce it just a little bit. If that person was to turn and talk to you, you still have the option to put your hand over one of the ear cups to allow the ambient noise. But you can also change the custom button on the bottom to different options. So one option is toggling on and off the ambient sound control. You can also make that button activate Google Assistant or Amazon Alexa. I'm not really a big fan of either of those. I don't really ever use them, so I'll probably just stick with using it as the ambient sound control. Another small issue that I found in, again, very certain circumstances is that when you're wearing these outside in pretty high winds, the noise canceling doesn't really work the greatest because, as most people know, a lot of wind into a microphone really distorts and it doesn't really sound very good. So if you don't know how noise canceling works, it takes the mics that are on the device, listens to what's going on around you, and then it outputs a reversed waveform sound into your ears. So since the wind is distorting the microphones, then the whole noise canceling gets ruined, and that was what I was encountering. But it was pretty high winds that I was noticing this, so normal to slow winds don't really have this issue. When I was noticing this, I was walking by a construction site, and when the microphones were working with normal winds, I literally couldn't hear the entire construction site, and I even pulled them off to make sure that the construction was actually going on, and it was. So that was the first time that I was the most impressed by these throughout the whole time I owned these. Just walking by and then taking them off and hearing the difference was pretty amazing. And this was also when I was walking outside in the cold. Where I live up in Canada, it's already snowy. So another bonus for these, if you're in a fairly cold environment, is that they make for great ear warmers. Not only do they isolate the sound, but they also insulate your ears. The ear cups just cover up your ears so well that it makes them nice and warm, which I guess could be an issue if you're wearing them for long periods of time, but I personally didn't notice them when I was wearing them for, 10 hours the first day I used them. So personally, I don't really find it an issue when I don't want my ears to be warm, but when I do want them to be warm, they end up getting warmed up by the headphones. So nice little bonus. Another new feature that they brought to this is being able to pair it to two devices at once. Basically, you can connect it to your phone and to your computer, listen to music on your computer, and then if you got a phone call on your phone, then you could just answer the phone call and it would automatically start listening to the phone call and stop listening to your music. So this is great. I've done this at work, so I've paired it to my work computer and my phone, so I just walk in with my headphones on, turn on my computer and start working and not have to worry about pairing it. Premiere Pro has a little bit of an issue with this, with the sample rate. I haven't really played around with that yet too much, but thankfully it does come with this headphone cable so that I can plug it in cases where the Bluetooth capabilities fail. One small issue that I encountered with a few different devices with a few certain circumstances is that there is a little bit of latency when watching videos. So if I was watching a talking head video like this, for example, the mouth movements may not exactly line up with the audio. However, I noticed that mostly on older devices. When I was watching a video on my new Galaxy S20 Ultra, I didn't really have this problem when I was listening wirelessly, and I didn't notice this problem when I plugged the headphones into the older computer. So that may just be an issue with the older computer having an older Bluetooth chip. So that's one thing to keep in mind, especially if you're looking to use these for playing games. You might want to make sure that your computer has a fairly new Bluetooth chip, or at least you have a headphone jack that you can plug these into. One thing they didn't change from Generation 3 was the battery life. It still has the same great 30 hours with noise cancelling on and 38 hours with noise cancelling off. And it also features a super fast 5 hours off a 10-minute charge, I believe. So just having that alone really makes it worth, because I was using these to play Valorant with last night for quite a few hours, listened to music before bed, woke up, turned my music on, went to work, and was using these for pretty much all day at work before they died. So having such a big battery life really comes in handy with basically anyone who uses headphones a lot. You don't really have to be worrying about when your battery is about to die. And then another feature they left from the version 3 was the swipe features on the ear cup for play, pause, volume up, volume down, and forward and back. So on the right cup, there's no buttons or anything. You just swipe to go forward, swipe to go back, swipe up to have your volume up, swipe down to have your volume down, and play and pause. Sometimes I feel like that would be better to have on both cups, because sometimes if my phone's in my right hand, it feels weird to reach over to tap on with my left hand or switch over. First world problems, but I think for this price, I feel like I can be a little bit picky. To get the most out of these headphones, and maybe even to just allow you to use them wirelessly, you use the Sony wireless headphone app. It's free and it works pretty well. There's a lot of different functions in it, so even all the way up to automatically balancing the air pressure inside of the ear cups for when you have the noise canceling on. So that's really cool, because I know a lot of headphones that have noise canceling, one big issue with them is that they produce a lot of pressure in the ears just because they're pumping in all that extra sound, and it just feels weird. So having them be not only aware of that, but also have an option to fix that is really, really nice. Inside the app, you can also change some of the other functions like the custom button, the swipe controls, and even the auto pause when you take the headphones off. This is a new feature that comes with this, because in the left cup, there's a little camera looking thing. That's a depth sensor. So that lets the headphones know when you take them off or put them on, it'll automatically pause and play your music depending on when you have them on and off. So that really helps improve the battery life, so that when you take them off, it's not just playing music for no reason. Another bonus with these is that in the app, you can change up your custom EQs, and it has a clear bass feature. So that's basically a bass boost. But one issue that comes with normal bass boosting is that the bass starts distorting the rest of the audio because of how much it's pushing the drivers. But with clear bass, it doesn't really have that issue. I've pushed bass all the way up to the top. And even at max volume, which I admittedly listen to my music at quite often, there's not really too much distortion at all, if any. And I've tested this with a few different EQs, both the preloaded and the custom ones that you can use in the app. So having this clear bass boost is definitely another win for these headphones. Yet another new feature that came with these headphones is DSEE, which is Digital Sound Enhancement Engine. So that's basically an AI in the headphones, which is listening to the music that you're listening to, and it's able to accurately upscale compressed audio files to make it sound clearer and more rich and basically more high res. Basically, it's like using Tidal without having to switch from Spotify. I haven't really been able to test this out yet because I use Tidal, which has higher bit rates on their audio already. So I don't really know if there's much uncompressing that the headphones can do to the already uncompressed audio files there. But what I will say is it doesn't make it sound any worse compared to my in-ear monitors, which are wired. So having a Bluetooth headphone comparable to a wired headphone in terms of the sound quality is important to me, and I'm pretty sure it's important to many other people, so there's another bonus. I think this is my fourth pair of headphones / earbuds that I've reviewed on this channel, and I'm gonna say that by far this is the best pair of headphones or earbuds that I've ever used. At this point of using them, I have no complaints with them. I would recommend them to pretty much everyone. The only reason I would recommend against them is if you were really tight on your budget, but again, I would say go check them out now because the Black Friday sales are out and the holiday sales are probably coming up soon. I'll leave an Amazon affiliated link in the description below if you want to support the channel, but I would also recommend going to check out some other stores just to make sure you got the best deal. I got these ones at Best Buy for a lot cheaper than Amazon had them on, but Amazon may end up finding that price and making a competing price. Who really knows these days, but I'm gonna give these a 10 out of 10. So with that said, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, drop a like. If you loved it, drop a subscribe. Catch you in the next one. Peace.